National Guard for the Ranger Regiment. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Jay, retired Green Beret, and the intent behind this channel is to share my knowledge and wisdom with the next generation of special operations soldiers, right? Guys, today I want to talk to you guys about something that is floating around within the military community. I haven't seen anybody cover this, but I thought it would be of value if I just brought it up and see what you guys, the audience, think about this concept, right? And if you guys are interested in going to Special Forces Assessment and Selection, make sure you go to greenberetchronicles.com and see all the different products that I have over there to help you guys get to that end state, right? With all that said, guys, National Guard for the Ranger Regiment. What are you guys' thoughts, right? And the reason why I'm asking is because within the National Defense Act that's currently being thrown around Capitol Hill, there is a segment in there where they are requesting that powers that be take a close look of possibly establishing a National Guard regiment. As it stands right now, guys, the 75th Ranger Regiment is an active duty component. There's no reserve or National Guard aspect to it. The 19th and the 20th group are the only special operational groups that are filled with Green Berets. Delta Force doesn't have any reserve or National Guard entity. Ranger Regiment doesn't. TFO doesn't. So it's just the 19th and the 20th group. However, that might soon be changing. Take a listen. This was reported as of 2 days ago. The committee recognized that the National Guard has been employed as an operational reserve force with requirements to fulfill many of the same mission set as the active components. The National Guard maintained two special operational groups as a relief for the active component special forces groups. Again, the 19th and the 20th that I spoke about earlier. The creation of a Ranger Battalion for the National Guard would provide much needed dwell time for the active 75th Ranger Regiment, while increasing readiness and capability of the nation's premier light infantry unit. As such, the committee directs the Secretary of the Army to submit a report to the House Committee of Armed Services no later than March 1st, 2023. So about a year ago, all right? And again, I'm just not getting whiff of this, so I just wanted to share with you guys. If you guys have heard of this before, please let me know in the comment section below. Assessing the feasibility of establishing a Ranger Battalion within the National Guard, including the requirement, resources, and timeline for activating the unit. Additionally, the report should also assess the feasibility of the Army National Guard and the 75th Ranger Regiment, allowing physically and mentally qualified service members within the National Guard to apply for the Ranger Assessment and Selection Program. So that's the reporting that was shared with me over the weekend, guys. It looks like we might soon be getting a National Guard Ranger Regiment to help the dwell time for the active duty component, guys. And for you guys that aren't familiar with dwell time is the amount of time you spend back home as it relates to your deployment. For example, whenever I was in group running and gunning during the peak of the Afghanistan war, our dwell time was 1-to-1, meaning we would deploy for 6 months and then we'd come back home and we would hang out for about 6 months and then we would deploy again. All right. However, during that 6 months period, you still got to take leave. You still got to go to schools. You still got to go to train up. You still got to meet all the additional requirements that are needed to not only be a soldier, but to remain as a qualified SF guy. So in reality, during that 6 months that we were off, maybe you got 2 months of it to actually enjoy yourself and your family. But then later on, they switched it to a 1-to-2, meaning you deploy for 6 months and then you have 12 months back. Creating an entity similar to the 19th and the 20th for a Ranger Regiment would help those guys out with their dwell time, meaning they would get to spend more time back home, head on pillow, so they can work on their families, education, and whatever those guys aren't able to do at the moment. The biggest question I had, though, is where would those bodies come from? Right? Because at the end of the day, you want to maintain the same standard that you have within the Ranger Regiment and the National Guard entity. With the 19th and the 20th, those guys still have to go through selection. They still have to go through the Q course and get MOS qualified in order to join those groups. So there would still have to be some type of standard established for the National Guard entity for the 75th Ranger Regiment. Oh, on top of that, recruiting sucks. So where are they going to find the bodies to fill that unit, right? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below, guys. Is this a good move? If so, where will the bodies come from? Eager to hear you guys' thoughts. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video.